I'm in my own circus.
All right, so today, as per our agreement last time, was that we were going to focus, starting off with our goals. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Make sure.
Curious, Sarah.
Okay,
I'm glad I'm not the only one like that.
so I just have to tell you, I don't know what's going on with my business. So, frustrating. I'm still here.
You okay?
She needs to talk about it.
It's been a rough year. Sorry, I'm fine.
You're not.
No, you're not.
Sarah, maybe you need to talk.
But I don't know what to talk about.
How you're feeling?
Frustrated, but I'm fine. I can't stay there. I can't stay in that point. Otherwise, it just gets worse. Anyway, I know that there are some things that I probably should do better. Like I have let my host kind of rule as far as not mailing invitations and stuff like that. But yet I know some people are like, oh, that's the only way I do invitations for parties is Facebook, and it's not working. So even last night's party, the gal had her 3 friends that she knew she could count on didn't even show. Not even the 3 she could count on. So anyway, I don't
Bye,
know.
Mom.
I told her to call early, but she didn't. Bye.
So it'll be fine. I have a party tonight that'll probably be one of those. I'll be like, this is awesome. I love my job. I don't know. So, and of course, May typically, it's not just me, it's everybody. May is a rough month, and it's not looking real stellar. I'm working it. I'm trying to get the bookings, but, and I know that everybody's having a rough time. So I'm not alone. It's just been, I don't know that I'm going to hit excellence this year. It's the first year in probably 10 years that I won't hit excellence.
How close are you?
Yeah.
Oh, it's still like probably 10,000.
Oh, you can do it. You can do it. You have time.
I know it's doable. I know that, and I'm doing everything I can, short of offering stupid, crazy incentives just so that I can have the sales. And I'm not going to do that because I need the income too.
Can I make it, Sarah, I will tell you that for the last 2 years has been really rough on my business.
Yeah.
In fact, so rough that this year I actually got a refund on my income tax. I didn't have to pay it.
I'm not paying
That's how
this
rough
much
it
this
was.
year.
And so I really sat down this year at the beginning of the year and took a hard look about what I was doing, but more importantly, what I felt I was not doing.
Hmm.
And one of the things that I decided to do for myself this year is because the only person I can control is me. And so what I decided to do this year was to have a few more in-home parties at my house where I was the host. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. Well, I was the host, but I wasn't necessarily going to keep the benefits, but I was going to be the host. And what I have found to be that helped me out was I offered them, and they were going around like wildfires last year, and why I didn't do them, I don't know, because change is hard for me. But, doing in-home parties of like, almost like a, what is it, do it yours. I always have to say it out first, do it yourself, DIY classes. And so it's like doing salad in a jar. I was doing 10 at a time, power cooking. And what really helped me out was those type things. And not only did I invite all my past hosts and some good customers, but I asked them to please bring people I didn't know.
Right.
And that really helped me out. So maybe, at the beginning, because there's still time. The greatest thing in the world is the fact is if we plan our own party, we can plan it in a week. Is maybe plan your own, and it's just like I always tell the team, if you're going to plan your own party, and plan it in a week, it's easy to do because this is what you would normally do. If you're having a barbecue this weekend, what I would do is I would have texted Yvette and said, hey, Yvette, what are you doing this weekend? I'm barbecuing at my house. Want to come over? It's the same thing. She knows what she's doing this weekend. She might not know what she's doing in 2 weeks, but she knows what she's doing this weekend. And so you have a better response of people getting them at your house.
I've done 3 the past 3 months, and I have one.
Oh, have you?
So I started in February, then March, then April.
Okay.
And I've gotten bookings from them.
Mm-hmm.
So there's only 1 month where only one person came, and that's it. But I'm continuing because I think, and like I'm doing fajita fiesta for May, and I'll do the rush hour chicken fajitas. Plus, and then maybe Mexican brownies. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know.
Can I make a suggestion? And
Yeah.
I don't know how well these are working for you, but I find that when I do the classes, I don't necessarily have a theme of a recipe. I have a theme of a product line. Or
Right. Oh, no.
Okay.
I've done that too, but I found that if I have a theme, I don't know, I'm trying some different things. I'm trying to see what's going to pique people's interest, what's going to get them to come. I would love for my in-home party to be one that I have to actually say, I'm sorry, it's full. You'll have to wait for the next one.
So one of my most popular ones has either been how to use your rack crack or how to use your deep cover baker. And then I literally have 5 recipes that I usually have 1 or 2 done. And then I have them I have a station for each recipe. So not multiple stations for each recipe, but a station for each recipe, divide up the group. They make that recipe. I happen to have 2 microwaves in my house because I have a downstairs kitchen. And I promote it as, if you have it and don't know what to do with it, or if you think you want to get it, this is the class for you.
Right. And I did a class like that. I've done a rock class and I've done the deep cover baker class. So anyway, I'm just at you want to say something, Becky?
Yeah. So for me, and I don't know if anybody else picks up on it or not, but Sarah, just feel, comfort in knowing that we all go through ruts. Like, I know I haven't been in this business as long as you guys, only 7 years. We all go through ruts. And I think what's important, and I know Amy has brought it, she's mentioned it multiple times, is for us to reevaluate our why and see why we're doing it and where you're at with that. And if your why doesn't make you cry, then it's really not your why. Digging deep. I mean, I know personally I had to do that back in, September, because last year was not a stellar year for my personal business. I had medical things, I had all that crap going on. And so I had to really soul search and figure out why I was doing this business and go from there, because sometimes you got to relight your fire,
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, I know all that's 20 years, so the hardest part, I don't know. It's just rougher than I thought it would be. And it'll be fine.
You're not alone.
Oh, I know. I can see the comments on Facebook, and I know people are still looking for bookings in April. I know I'm not alone.
No, I'm saying you're not alone though. Like, you're emotional right now, and I just want you to know that you're not alone. Like, we're all here for you. You're not in this by yourself.
Oh, I know, and I appreciate that. And I apologize. I didn't think I'd get this emotional.
It's okay.
That's why we're here. That's why we have this group.
Exactly.
Anyway.
And I will tell you that just an aside. I used to teach in a drug rehab, and there was a saying, what you resist persists. So the emotion of it needs to be expressed so that you can clear it out to allow other stuff to come in. So I'm just observing you, like you keep like, no, let me push it to the side. Let me push it to the side. Let me push it to the side. And know that part of the process is expelling that.
I agree. You need to dump it. Get rid of it.
I do every night. So, anyway,
I'm not going there.
Does it make you feel better to know I have 1 show in May?
yeah.
So
I love how she just said, yeah.
Let me ask you guys a question. How many of you, because I know that there are consultants who do this, they will not do a party if they don't get a list.
I don't personally, but I know of a lot of people that do that.
I used to.
okay,
Yeah,
so
you're muted.
So let me comment on this, because I have been one of those people, and for years, if I didn't get a list, at the 2-week mark, I started saying, are we having the party? Do we need to cancel? Do we need to reschedule? And if I didn't have it like 10 days out, I'm like, well, it looks like, you don't want to have the party. Then I switched to Margot, which I have loved and adored. But I noticed starting last fall, I can't even get them to fill out Margot.
I know.
But they're insistent, and I was so desperate to keep these shows that I caved and still did these shows. Now my numbers are down. You know, four years ago, I was averaging 19 orders per party. I'm now averaging, I think my numbers right now are like 10 and a half, or not 10 and a half, like 12 and a half. But I can't even get these hosts to do Margot. But I am still having some successful parties. My numbers are down a little bit, but I'm having parties. But I had 8 shows this month, and 2 people used Margot. 2.
Can I kind of make a suggestion?
Mhm.
I used Margot for a time period, and I struggled with getting them to fill that out. I feel like they felt like that was just more work for them to do. I continued to.
You cut out.
We lost you volume.
Oh, this computer. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I continued to mail invitations for a long time, and then about 2 years ago, I quit mailing invitations. And I have seen, after I quit mailing invitations was when I went to elite seller status, and that was just, I mean, my business just took off. I started doing a text message for them, and it doesn't even have to be like a red stamp message. You can type out a text message for them, include their shopping link in it. I tell them we're going to invite in layers. We set up the Facebook event, but they don't get the Facebook event until after they've sent the text message. If they want postcards to hand out or mail, I give them to them, but I'm not mailing them anymore. You know, it's just easier that way. So and I send them an email, and I know a lot of people say, who's doing email? Who's looking at email? Some people still do. You know, so I tell them we're going to invite in layers, and we do it in layers. We do, the first one is the text message. It's a save the date. The next one is the Facebook group. And then the next one is an email invitation that I send to them from Evernote.
Yeah, I will agree that changing your inviting habit has been something I've just begun to realize I have to do. I'm probably going to give up Margot as much as I've loved it, because it's not giving me the return over the last 6 months that it used to.
I think honestly, it's something that all of us have to kind of reevaluate, and not just for the simple reason that, you know, there's so many options, but for the simple reason that the younger generation that we're trying to branch into is so
technology
different. They're so completely different than, you know, the hosts of the past. Like, so again, if we're not adapting and changing, you know, our shows, every part of our show from host coaching on up, you know, and we're stuck in 20 years ago, then it's really going to hurt our business. You know, you can't go after bookings the same way with the younger generation as you did, you know, the older generation. There's just a lot of, I think, self-reflection that needs to happen throughout the whole company. You know, to really approach that next level customer. They're completely different. And I'm glad I have a 20-year-old daughter, like 21-year-old daughter, because she's really helped me with it, to kind of understand from her age group. You know, she's the getting ready to graduate college, getting ready to move out on her own, that whole mentality of what she would want as a host, you know, and so that's where I've been approaching that younger generation. I mean, I booked 8 shows from a millennial crowd, you know, and at one party, there's 15 people there, and 1 out of every 2 booked. So over half of them booked. But I've been using her as my kind of, you know.
So we have to. So what is it that's different, Becky?
Yeah.
It's, you know, they want value for their time. Okay. Yeah. They are huge. If they're going to give up, you know, a night with their boyfriend for a night with the girls, they want value for that time. You know, they want to learn something. You know, this generation, again, they're foodies, but they don't know how to cook, right? So where some people like, you know, I think me personally, if I were going to go to a cooking or to a Pampered Chef party, I would want to do station style because I'm a hands-on learner. But I think that's where that talking to the host is so important, and finding out what her friends will like, and not really forcing the issue of station style or demo, whatever you're set on. really being flexible with our shows. You know, I know it's hard because we want to stay consistent with what we're doing, but that's not how this generation is. You know, every one of them are going to be different with their idea of what, you know, an experience looks like. So really that's kind of my main focus with my younger hosts now, is finding out what her and her friends would, you know, rather. And what I found honestly is they rather the demo style show where they're learning. Okay. So not just talking about products, but giving them ideas on how to hold that knife, you know, so they don't chop their finger off. Like really a teaching format is what they're looking for. A lot of them are going to cooking classes and they're paying people to teach them how to do these things. Well, we can teach them for free, right? So Maddie, you know, my oldest daughter, she's like, Mom, she's like, just keep doing what you're doing. So that show where I booked 8 of the 15 people, it was, you know, I taught them how to hold the knife, how to chop with the knife, put the knives in their hands, pass the knife around, you know, and let them chop with it until they were holding it correctly. So it was more teaching style. But then, you know, again, if they're going to spend $75 on a product, then, you know, making sure they know the value of the product, not just selling them something, selling them on the ideas of how they can use it to fit in their lifestyle. And that's just, I mean,
Becky, did you find that their orders were average than what you've seen with an older generation, or lower?
No, they were higher.
Okay.
That show, it was 15 people and it ended up being about $2,000.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, it was right like $1,900 when we closed out.
I think it depends on the group, but I'll agree with you, Becky.
It does.
If you teach them, I mean, I just teach them how to hold a Santoku knife.
Oh, yeah.
You know how you choke up on it? And they look at me in stunned surprise. And the feedback I'm getting lately from people in their 20s, you know, in that millennial range, early 30s, is they come to me and they say, you made me believe that I can actually cook. Because
Exactly.
you showed me something. It's so simple what you're showing me. And I never thought that this was simple. I thought it was hard. They don't even, I mean, the most basic common concepts, they don't even get. And I'm a huge fan of doing those ultra simple recipes.
Absolutely. The simpler the better.
Really basic. All those, you know, Friel Jan has this amazing Tuscan chicken recipe. And I look at that and think, these people aren't going to make that.
Oh, yeah.
It looks amazing. It looks incredible. But then I total up the ingredients and I total up how many steps there are and how much work there is. They're not going to do it. So I've, as tempted as I was to promote it, I've decided not to. Because it doesn't matter if they can make it at home.
That's where, you know, I don't do a recipe for the month. Okay.
Yeah,
like I don't send out recipe choices with my hosts. I don't do that. I did that for a long time. That's where I'm personalizing every show and really focusing on what kind of experience that host wants for her friends, whether it's an older crowd or a younger crowd. And I've just had a better response with it. You know, I think it's important to keep in mind that younger crowd, they don't have money. Like, and if they're going to spend their money, they want value from their money, right? So they want you to teach them how to use it, give them recipes. They want to know that they can come to you, you know, in the future for more recipes if they need to. Mm-hmm. But if they're going to spend their money, and especially if they're feeding their crowd of friends, again, they want it kept simple. So, you know, fajitas, that's a great recipe for the younger crowd because, again, it's not many ingredients and it's pretty inexpensive, but it can feed a large crowd.
Well, Becky, what I'm hearing you say with all this is by not having a list, by having a conversation with them, you may be having better success with your hosts because they feel special. Absolutely. They're not a cookie cutter. That you're responding to what they are saying. Now, you still may end up going, okay, I know I'm going to do fajitas and margaritas, but that's what I'm hearing from you, because that may be the difference. You know, the older crowd are happy to have a list and they'll pick out from it, but the younger crowd want to know that they're special.
Absolutely.
I will agree with that because for years now, I haven't done a recipe of the month in probably 10, 12 years. I kind of have based on the season, I kind of have a rolling list of 4 to 8, you know, themes that I might do. And the funny thing is some of the theme names are the same, but are different, but the recipes are the same.
Yeah.
But like right now I'm offering keto friendly, healthy in a hurry, fun salads or salad and sangria, naughty nachos. I just made up naughty nachos. They're just nachos that are loaded. They call them naughty. And you know what? People go nuts over the fact that they're naughty. And they want to have a naughty nacho show because it sounds so cool.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
So what else am I doing? Zucchini bruschetta pasta, and then fast meals. I just kind of throw those out there. I'm like, do any of those appeal to you? And they're like, oh, that one sounds good. Great. Because for the most part, they all use the same tools. There's, one or two like the veggie spiralizer is probably one of the off tools that I might or might not carry with me. And then the Rock Crack Grill Stone. Everything else, my kit is loaded and I can handle any of those shows.
I mean, I understand from the consultant perspective why we want to keep it the same. It's easy that way. It's easy for us. It's, easy. I can wash it, put it back in the bag and go and blah, blah, blah. But nothing about our business is easy. Let's face it. Nothing about getting bookings is easy. Nothing about, anything is easy. So I know, not everybody's going to do what I do, and that's good because you can only handle one Becky in the world, trust me. But
we like our Becky.
But it's just, it's our thought process sometimes. It's that little tweak that makes such a big difference, especially when we're trying as a company to get into that younger crowd. I see on the director pages all the time, they're like, talking about it, and it's just like, okay, we can't keep doing, you keep doing what you're doing and you're not going to have a business. The same thing goes for Pampered Chef. If we're not willing to adapt and change to go after the younger crowd, we're not going to have a company, and that's why, Tracy is so focused on doing the things that she's doing, despite there being a little bit of pushback from the field. She knows this is what we have to do. She's a smart woman.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we have about half an hour left.
Can I just ask a question?
Yeah.
Amy, are you at all jealous as you look at Adria sitting outside and the breeze blowing in the sun?
I have a very love-hate relationship with your photo right now.
You know, right?
I saw the wind blowing.
Do you know how much snow is outside?
Yeah, I'm kind of like, I work outside almost every day now. Like at my office, I haven't been in probably like 2 weeks. I just like bring everything out back and I just sit out here.
No. You look amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
My hair is blowing in the wind.
Yes.
No sleeves.
No sleeves, no.
Yeah.
It's like 70 something right now, I think. Let me see. 66, but it still feels great. So we're going to go to the lake today and go play around a little bit. It'll be like in the mid 70s. So
jealous.
Yeah.
My husband's in tech and he's actually looked at a couple of jobs in Austin. I'm like, well, Adria's down there. I could go hang out with Adria.
Exactly.
But yeah, we're not leaving Wisconsin anytime soon. I got 2 kids college. So
yeah.
When they're done.
Yeah. So I guess I'll take a minute to tell you guys that this will be my last call with you.
What?
It will be. I actually, a little over about a week and a half ago, emailed in and resigned my directorship. So, and I didn't realize that that's what I needed to do until I did it and how I felt. And so I'm like, it's good. It's good. It's just so good. So I know I'm going to miss everybody, seeing everybody, but just know that I haven't been this happy and felt this free in a very long time. And that to me is just priceless. So when I sent it in, the feeling of just this huge weight coming off my shoulders, and I'm going to stay with my personal business, but because that's my passion, that's what I love. I love serving my customers. I love doing my parties, and I'm going to continue doing online parties. And if anybody here wants to have a party, but the whole team aspect really changed me when I started trying to climb the ladder. And my mom kept telling me for years, you're different. You're not the person you used to be. And how you're talking about your business and the frustration and the bitterness and the anger, that came with it when me trying to force something to happen. And I know within my spirit that building a large organization and promoting up in the company is not the direction I need to be going. And so I came to that conclusion, and it's just been wonderful. It's been wonderful. And I've loved every minute. Like I don't regret. I have no regrets at all. And the business was great for when it was, like the leadership part. And I still, plan on running my business. I mean, I love that. But I've done a lot of soul searching, as you guys have known, and a lot. And one of the things that really made a big impact on me was listening to a Tony Robbins podcast. And I might have shared this on our last call, but they were talking about how to remain in a state of happiness, and that you always need to be back in gratitude and appreciation and joy. And the gentleman that he was talking with, he's a very successful billion-dollar business owner. And he said one of the things that he does every day is he writes down, or when he needs to get back into that state of happiness, and he writes down, if I was to die today, what are the things that I'm so grateful and appreciative of? And I did that exercise. And it was amazing the things that I had on my list, and it was more eye-opening the things that I didn't have on my list. And that gave me so much clarity and courage to make decisions that make me happy. And regardless of if somebody else is going to, like my upline, she's, all upset and not real supportive. But I said, that's okay. This isn't her life. This isn't her happiness at stake. It's mine. And by golly, I'm already 51% of my life based on averages of how long women live. And I'm like, I'm not going to waste it being miserable. I'm going to be happy. And so it was such a great freeing thing. And I've already pulled myself out of every other leadership group, and I'm not saying anything. I'm just poop, ghosting, but I wasn't going to ghost you guys. So, but I wanted to wait till we could all be together just to share with you in case you had questions or anything. And yeah. So,
well, we'll miss your smiling face.
I know. I'm going to miss you guys too. I mean, I'll see you on Facebook, and you guys can follow me.
Yeah. And also super proud of you, Adrienne.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
That's a hard decision.
The smile on your face right now says it all, actually.
Yeah, it does. It does.
And that's when I knew. When I made the decision and I wrote the email in and I hit the send button, it was just transformative. And I gave me so much confidence to know I was doing the right thing because of how free I felt and how happy I felt. And not that my team, it was a bad thing, but I just know that it's time. It's time to move on and do something different. And I don't know what God has in store, but by golly, I'm just going to be open to it. So, yeah.
Getting skinny is one of them. Look at you, girl.
I'm working on it. So, yeah, we leave for Mexico in 11 days. So, we're excited for that. Yeah. So, anyhow, I figured that's the time I'll squeeze that in there.
Well, we will miss you for sure.
I'll miss you guys too.
But with the magic of Facebook, we will still get to see you. So
Sure will. And then too, I know my family's like, well, can you still earn trips? I was like, oh, hell yeah, I can still earn trips. I can still do everything else. I just don't have that part, that part that doesn't really bring me joy anymore.
So what are you gonna do with the 10 recruits that are gonna start knocking on your door because of the joy you're exhibiting?
They're going to my downline leader who's trying to re-promote.
Okay.
So I'm sending them to her. A lot of them are local in Sacramento area people that, that's where the majority of my customer base is. And she's local there. So, and she's trying to re-promote. And so I told her, I said, any live parties that I get, because I'm not traveling back to California, Caitlin's going to have surgery next month, hopefully. And so I need to be here for a while. And so, I'll send her live parties and I'll send her recruits.
That's awesome of you.
Have her do that. Yeah, that's how I told her. I said, I have 2 recruit leads for you. She's like, what? Thank you. And I said, I hope that softens the blow that I'm resigning my directorship. And she's like, what? But she was so supportive because she knows that I've been struggling. She goes, I know that there's been something going on with you. And I didn't know what, but I've been praying for you. And I'm so happy for you. So she was so supportive of me. And I said, I'm not leaving. Like, I'm still going to be around and you guys can still call me. I'll still, help you and train you. But coaching is just, I like to train. I don't really like to coach. And I know that that's what people need. So
That's the other way around. I'd rather coach than train.
Oh, I love training. I love training. But to move forward in this business, you have to really learn and be able to embrace coaching. And it's just not something that I really enjoy. So yeah. So I'm good.
Good for you that you came to clarity,
Oh, amen.
So many people are stuck, there's so many stuck people out there. So
It's after the 15th, so it's better now. Right, Yvette? It's after the 15th.
I somehow I'm not making a connection I'm supposed to. Sorry.
Retrograde.
Oh, Mercury. I'm like,
Oh,
I'm in Pampered Chef head. Sorry.
your face was priceless, Yvette.
I know, you're like,
wheels were turning.
Because the 15th, in the Pampered Chef world, right, is payday. So
Yes. There's that too.
I wasn't making it. Adria, first, I'm so happy for you because the decision shows, right? There's like a lightness, a glow. How did you tell your team?
I haven't yet. Dottie wanted time to tell them. She wanted time to tell the leaders. So I haven't necessarily sent that message yet. I've been kind of like, because it's not effective until the 1st. So she wanted time to be able to talk to people. So I'll share with them. And I think, they just need to know they'll be rolling up, but I'm still available. I'm still going to be a consultant, but I just needed to, resign at this point in my career. And, I'll just be open and honest, but it's not that I'm not going to ghost them. They know, and I'll make sure to tell them, you guys still message me, reach out to me. I'm still here to help you. But that is what's going to be so much better is that they now know I'm not financially profiting from helping them. I've just wanted to help people. But there's this really kind of twisted relationship that happens with our downline, at least I've experienced, where if I'm pushing in on them and I'm trying to help them and give them, they think it's because it's for my financial gain. And I really I just want to help people. I just want to help people. I just want to have a relationship with you. And so I'm actually looking forward to that. And I know that my provision will come another way, but somebody reaches out, like they tell me, oh, I'm so sorry to bugging you. And I'm like, you're not bugging me at all. I love helping. I love giving you guidance and teaching you what I know. So that I'll just make sure. I don't want them to feel like I'm abandoning them. Meetings are going to be a little tricky. I'm not sure how we're going to work that for those because we've been doing online and my upline doesn't do online meetings. So maybe she'll need to start.
There you go.
Yeah. She'll need to start offering a little something for her, personal team who's now in California. So
who is your upline?
Dottie Shepherd. Yeah. So.
I think, so many of those execs are at an age where they don't get tech and they don't want to learn. They have no interest in learning at all. And they don't realize what a problem it's causing.
Yep. Yeah. Well, she started doing Zoom meetings with the leaders. So I taught her how to do that. Spent some time, about an hour, to teach her and her assistant how to do Zoom and manage all that. And so she started that. She finally just got on Facebook last year.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And can I tell you why? I'll tell you why that they're starting to do that, because again, from Tracy Brickcole and, some of the youngers at the home office, they know that our nationals and such are missing the boat with their downlines. Mm-hmm. My national, Carol Redu, actually just did her very first Zoom meeting. It's been something we as her directors have been asking her to do for 2 years. And she was so steadfast, set in her ways that she would not do it. So I had a talk with my good buddy there, my little birdie. And she's like, they are really, really pushing the nationals, not only to get with the times basically, but also their show schedules. They need to work on their show schedules. They want them doing 8 shows a month too.
Oh, it's a national?
Most of the rest of us don't do 8 shows a month. Sorry.
They're pushing them. They're pushing them to really dig back in. So I think it's fun.
You think that's Toledo's example?
Yep.
Until the rest of the field gets back up again?
Yep.
I think it's probably to be in touch with things too, to really know the pulse of what's going on with their field,
Yep.
Well, and yeah, I have to say that we're lucky. Suzanne and I, Robin has been ahead of her time when it comes to that. She's been doing Zoom meetings and Facebook Live and all that stuff for quite some time. So,
and she does something that I think is really brilliant, and I need to do more of it myself. Is she interviews? So if there's somebody in the group who's, I said something about my Becky on my team doing recruiting more people in the first 2 months of the year than she had all last year. So what'd she do? She set up a time to do an interview, and it puts it into the director group, and it helps. It helps a lot that she's, as you say, that she's ahead. As you're saying this, I'm like, wait, that's not our experience. We've got one who's way ahead.
Yeah, mine too. I'm lucky in that respect also. So
well, feel blessed, girls, because some of us are stuck back in the 70s somewhere.
I realize that. I realize that too.
Ugh.
Yep. But she did get taken kicking and screaming there initially, and now she's embraced it. So exactly what I keep coming back to what you said at the start of that about what you resist persists, and
wrote that down.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah.
But we totally have not talked about our goals.
Not at all. And
Well,
I apologize.
Was this thing today?
I'll very quickly go. I pulled out my what's this called again?
My best self journal.
Best self journal, which I have not done the last 2 weeks. It's dropped, but I did not make. I needed 22,000 points. I'm only at 19,000. I was supposed to be down 15 pounds. I'm down 3. I was supposed to declutter 3 rooms. None. Personal team growth, wanted 10. We had 5. There we go. So we didn't hit a single one of them, but I'm okay.
I didn't either, and I'm okay.
It's a new quarter, girls, right? It's a new quarter.
That's right.
New quarter means new goals.
Yeah, things have felt very oppressive, like what Sarah's saying, and it's changed. Because if that helped me. Bye, Diana.
Just as an aside, I have 2 of my best self journals that have never been opened. So, and I'm not even going to. So if any of you are interested in purchasing them, let me know.
I have a freedom journal from some guy who does podcast stuff, and I think I'm on page 3. And that was almost a year ago.
It's funny how we all have such different styles, because I love this thing. Now, am I consistent about using it? No. I got really sick. I was like completely wiped out for about a week. And I went for 17 days without touching this. And I was the least productive I have been in months.
Yeah.
And first day I went back to using it, I got more done than I had in the previous week. It's amazing how focused I am with this. But you know what? I think it's just not going to click for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, this is amazing. I love this.
Oh, I love it too. I just let it fall by the wayside.
Right. And then you go back.
My productivity has gone.
Yep. But yeah, you go back to it. For me, it's been huge when I use it.
Yep. You and me both. I got to get back to it. Hold on. Let me blow the dust off of it first.
Right.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have known, like when you guys were saying about all the goals, I'm like, what do I do with my goals? I don't know where they are, which is telling in and of itself. And then I'm like, oh no, there they are. They're right there.
Mine are right here taped to my desk.
So I'll tell you, I'm about 50-50 with my goals. Personal, my office, my desk is still clean, you guys. It's still clean. Okay.
Wow.
If I accomplish nothing else, that's the thing I'm most proud of. Okay. That I'm just saying. Just saying.
So,
Yeah.
okay, so I have achieved some of my goals. My sales goals are mostly achieved. There was last month wasn't that great, but I'm generally an elite seller for like the last 4 years, and I was not an elite seller in January and February, and that was very painful. And I think I know why, not sure, but I'm back to elite seller this month, or I will be. Although next month I only have one show, so I guess we'll see what happens. But when I look at my list of goals over and over and over again, where we are not hitting our goals are the recruiting for the team, and even a little bit for myself. I mean, I'm recruiting every month, but I'm getting 1, maybe 2 people. My team is getting 0, maybe 1. And that's, I don't know how to fix that. I really don't. And I don't know if it's something I need to say, if it's something I need to coach, if it's something I need to teach. I know in one case, one girl was, well, I signed someone last year and she didn't do anything, so I decided not to do anything. I'm like, well, how did that benefit you? She's like, well, I know it didn't, but I don't know how to get around it. So I don't know how to help my team grow, is what it comes down to. I don't know what to do.
I've been stuck there for a long time, Amy. So I'll tell you that, you guys know I was going to run that training program where I was doing the pop-ups and such. And so Claudia decided to smack me around a little bit and really, push me under her wing instead of coddling me under her wing. She's like pushed me under the wing. And it's been pretty eye-opening so far. We're only into the second week of the 6-week training thing that she's doing. But what's amazing is, she's kind of spoon-fed me words and word choices with my team and with getting them excited about recruiting, and some of that culture starting to shift a little bit. I have 8 people that are doing this program with her, where I thought that I would have maybe 1. I had 8 people that want to do this program and are pretty serious about their business. So a large dynamic of that's changing, and I'm hoping, I'm taking lots of really good notes so that I can bring you guys once this program's done, because her team is just, it blows my mind. Like, there's no other words to say, but her team blows my mind. With their recruiting, is just absolutely, there's no words for it. So yes, I'm taking lots of really good notes for all of you.
Yeah, because really my entire dream of my business was for this business to grow as a big, huge Pampered Chef family and be supportive and helpful, and to have people achieve goals and achieve growth and achieve things in life that they wanted. And I wanted to be, the person who could help people do this, because I'm such a helper at heart. And I just really feel like that's not what this business has been. And I think it could be, but after 19 years, and I there was a big kick emotionally for me earlier in the month when I turned 49. And yes, thank you for the happy birthday song. I was laughing and crying all at the same time. And I know we're all at different ages, and some of you are already over 50, but I'm looking at this now thinking, how many more years do I have left? And how many more years do I have left to make a financial difference to my family? Because honestly, I could make more money in the business sector. The hours would suck. The lack of flexibility would suck. My husband doesn't realize how good he's got it. He would come to some big realizations, probably just within 3 to 6 months, about how good he had it. But I feel like this business is maybe dragging, at this point in our lives, is dragging our family down versus bringing it up. Because now my kids are older, they're 18 and 20. Now granted, today, as soon as I get off the phone, I have to go pick up my son, he's sick.
And you can.
And I can, But he's also 18. He could suck it up and just stay at school. I don't feel real sorry for him. I told him to go to bed at 9 last night when he complained about not feeling good, and at 10 o'clock he was playing video games. So,
It sounds so familiar.
there's no pity, really. There's no pity. He's leaving for school next year. What am I supposed to do next year? Ben, you need to go to bed. Yeah, it's not going to happen. So anyway, but I'm at a loss for how to make this into what my dream was. Yes.
Your dream the same?
Well,
yeah, but I don't know how to get there.
Well, one of the things that I'm hearing, and maybe it's just me, and it's the journey that I've been having in the last little bit too, is we're all sounding pressured.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're putting the pressure on ourselves more than perhaps, I know if Judy Joel's around, we feel the pressure, but loss of the joy comes from this whole idea that we have to keep pushing and pushing and pushing them to do something. What happens if we don't? What happens if we just keep doing what Adria's decided that she's like, I like my business. I'm going to work on my own personal business. And if you guys want to come and access me here, I'm here.
Exactly.
What happens if we do that? Some of the pressure that you guys are talking about, I haven't felt this year because they have made the training so awesome with home office.
Mm-hmm.
I do not need to do it. I don't do it. And all of my new consultants they're like tearing it up and they're loving what they're doing. And I got nothing to do with it except for, them to come and tell me like, oh, I did this and it's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't have any pressure with them right now. So I'm not saying I'm better because I've been in my own slump for my personal business, but what if we do that? What if we release some of that I have to do.
For me, that's not the issue. Because I will agree, because the new stuff from home office, I just keep redirecting them back to that. I'm somehow touching or checking in or texting or quick phone calls, a couple of times a week when they're brand new, but it's not real involved or real elaborate. And the ones who aren't going to do much, they fall off the wayside really quick. It's even just getting them to find interest enough in this business to join us and to help my team do that too, because they're telling me they want to recruit, but they're not doing the activities they need to do to recruit. But okay, so there are other directors though that are having success with building team growth. And what are they doing that I'm not doing? What do they know that I don't know? What are the activities or the tweaks, or I'm guessing it's something little and stupid that I'm missing out on. But
can I tell you the biggest thing I've seen so far?
Yeah.
With Claudia's
team. And it's the one thing that my head always keeps going back to, is that everybody wants to be part of something bigger.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. It's my son.
I agree. I think that people do want to be part of something bigger, and they want to be part of something I refer to it as a winning team. Whatever they see as winning, whether it be fun or, goal setters and achievers, they want to be part of something.
Yeah. I think it's building that. It's a mind shift going from, not necessarily creating this big picture that is focused on recruiting or focused on selling, but more the little goals that are achievable at first to get the morale kind of going, and really reaching as a team for the same goal. Like right now she's doing, I love this. It's called #pie in the face. Okay. So she took how many bookings that they had as a team last year in the month of April. And as a team, they set a new goal of how many bookings that they want to have for this month as a team. Okay. And so when they hit that goal, she's going to get a pie in the face.
Not happening.
So, again, it's something fun. It's fun, but it's also at the same time inspiring them as a team to work towards one mission, right?
It's like the dunking booth for Jean.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll do shots if they.
Every month they do something like that. So it's one team working towards one goal. And it had, like, the month before, they had their last year in March, they had their absolute best recruiting month. So this year they wanted to beat that recruiting goal from last year. And so again, they had one team pushing toward reaching that, beating that goal from last year. And they missed, they were 20 recruits off of like 140 something recruits for the team or whatever. I know, right? Exactly, Yvette. But every month, it's something that they do. It just blows my mind. Like pie in the face. Hello, really? So she's going to get a pie in the face if they reach it when we're in California, when we're in San Diego in a couple weeks. We're going to go live, and she's going to get a pie in the face. It's going to be great. Who would have thunk it?
I think it's wonderful. And I will say, as someone who's been there when we were moving towards executive and we had everybody on board, and the majority of the team was involved. There was something that everybody was moving toward, and the excitement. We were promoting. I remember our second month in a row when I was doing the director ceremony. I said to myself, oh my gosh, are they going to get tired of this? And then the third month in a row when we did another director ceremony, promoting another director, I was clear that the reason 30-something people were showing up for the monthly meeting was because they were excited to be part of something bigger.
Yep.
And they were happy to see, they wanted to see another director promotion ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
I just think in general, we've lost the fun of a lot of what we're doing, the mission that we're on, whether it's booking, like we were talking about with the millennial crowd earlier, it's a fun factor. You know what I mean? I think it applies to our whole business. If we're losing the excitement and the fun, we're going to lose people along with it.
Yep.
Well, and, Judy Joel constantly talks about the pace of the pack is set by the leader, which has always annoyed me enormously because I don't need to be the top seller. However, I have finally embraced the fact that joy factor. If the leader is sitting here going, oh, this is hard, this is so, that's what we convey to our team as well. And so I'm finally embracing the fact that I don't necessarily have to be leading the pack in total sales. Somebody else can be doing that, but the attitude has to be right. Absolutely. And I'm not complaining. I'm not saying your attitude isn't right, Amy. I'm saying that sometimes I keep needing to come back to this. And this is the thing about this business, rinse, wash, and repeat, but it's not always the same. Sometimes we need to change up our shampoo, and sometimes we need to
hang out to dry.
Hang out to dry. Sometimes you got to let your hair go yucky for a while, and then it looks great when you do what you're supposed to do. But so it's not one thing. And even what we talked about earlier about having to change it up for the millennials, that they just want to feel special.
Yep.
And so we have to keep changing up what we do. And every time we dig our heels in and say, oh, I'm not doing it that way, what happens? We come to a halt because we've dug our heels in.
And I'm pretty open to trying things or changing.
And you are, yeah.
But my personality is more serious.
Yeah.
It's more focused. I focus on tasks. And I know that has held me back because there are people who just want the fun, and I don't come across as fun, but then how do I get around that?
Hey, Amy, I also believe there are certain people like us that are turned off by the fun and the silly. Mm-hmm. And so I know that my team that came with me because I was more business minded, and I wasn't all that fun and frilly, like Patty Moserino. You know, she's real bubbly and real energetic, and you know, I can do that. But I think it's also to remember that, you know, certain people are going to be attracted to you because you're more business minded, and maybe, you know, so there's a balance.
Can you find those people for me?
Yeah, I've had some people jump on board, you know, and so it's, I mean, yeah, find the fun ones in your group and let them do it, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I was going to say.
You know, have them plan the fun stuff.
And I have my team spring retreat this weekend, and I'm using Julie Ritter's Energy Bus program and then tweaking it. But like she only had, and I'm very conscious of finding the fun because I know that's where I struggle. And I went through her stuff and I'm like, there's only one fun thing in here. So I'm literally like out on Pinterest trying to find fun stuff that I can add in. And I was trying to come up with a Kahoot I could do. And I literally could not come up with a Kahoot that would work for this. So I just haven't even done it yet. But, you know, even just stupid getting to know you stuff, this or that games. There was something else I've got written down. Asking silly, stupid questions like, you know, who was the first guy you kissed? So, you know, whatever, you know, all those silly things. But just the getting more comfortable type stuff. But, you know, I'm excited about the program. And, you know, it's funny, I have room for 5 more people in my basement. And I knew when I put it out to my upline's local director team, no one would bite. And no one has. None of them are interested in being a part of it at all. And my exec did message me this morning. She's like, wow, that was really cool that you invited people. And honestly, I'm going to message her back and just say, well, no one responded, because she asked if anyone did. And I said, honestly, the directors that are local here aren't the kind of people who get into this. They just don't. And I don't think she grasps this. So, and I've always been very direct with her, and she claims she appreciates it. We'll see.
I have an idea for you for fun.
Yes.
What's the game called where you put the, you know, the
Heads up.
Heads up.
Love that.
you can create a heads up with products and like career sale 15,000, you know, stoneware, where you create the words for them. We've done it before, and that
It is a blast.
it's hysterical, and it's one of the, it's like it energizes a room. And if you do it with our products and stuff that, I mean, you could even do like the 47, like that's how much 100 catalogs cost, you know. It just like you can do some silly stuff.
So I've never played this before. I think I know how it works. So like, and I know you can do it on the phone, or you could just make little 3x5 cards, but somebody has to put a card up on their head without looking at it, and then they have to guess what it is, right?
The rest of
then give them
clues.
Oh, so the crowd can give them clues, so they can ask questions
without saying any of the words. It's kind of like password.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Another fun one is the mouth thing, where you put the little mouth guards in.
Holy moly, but make sure you buy them a lip gloss first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we did that. I have never laughed so hard in all my life. I am so sorry I didn't record it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Okay. All right, we'll try some heads up. That'll
Yeah, we played heads up as I forget what spring launch or something we were at. I hurt the next day from laughing so hard. And we just did the regular heads up, and it was just to have a room of 20 people trying to tell one person the clues.
Yeah.
It was a riot. So
All right. Well,
so you don't even have to create it. You can just do it on your phone, and then you don't even have to do another piece of work for it.
So is there a heads up app?
Yep.
There is, right?
Ellen DeGeneres created this game.
Really?
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and it's her app. It all came from Ellen DeGeneres.
You learn something new every day.
Oh, you know what? I have it on my phone. I also heard about it years ago and then just never.
It is so much fun.
It is.
You can do it anywhere. If you have at least 3 or 4 people, it's just so much fun.
So if I want to make my own,
Just make cards. Just make.
3x5.
yeah, I think I'll just do 3x5 cards because my phone will be used for something else during the game.
You guys just inspired me because I'm doing a director retreat with Karen Noble the end of the month, and she wants me to train on team culture. And I think I might train on team culture via some heads up.
That'd be fun.
Oh, that would be fun.
Could you teach us on team culture? Because I seem to be lacking that.
Well, I have to write the program first. I've been mulling things over, but it's not written down yet. I'd have to talk to her this afternoon, but that's okay. She knows I'll pull it out. So.
Well, I'm going to stop the recording unless anybody else has anything else that they want on there.
No, I